Hello everyone, welcome to this video. We have received a really good response on BITSAT Open, which is our first ever attempt to do an all India free BITSAT mock test. As you're watching this video, we know that your BITSAT first attempt is literally in 1 or 2 days. So please watch this video till the very end, because in this video, you're going to get a much clear idea about who the real BITSAT competition is and how you have to perform to enhance your score. In this video, we also have Kushal with us, and both of us and our team have spent time to make this result as detailed as possible. So we hope that you have something to take away from it. सबसे पहली चीज तो यार, every single student who wrote BITSAT Open honestly is Phodu. The keyword over here is honestly because we saw that a lot of students have not taken the exam seriously. We got to know that through their accuracy, through the total time they spent on the paper, and some other factors. But the ones who wrote BITSAT Open honestly, regardless of their score, we believe that you are Phodu, and we are extremely proud of you.
Definitely, we are very proud of every single student who has written BITSAT Open. It was a challenging paper. It was something that was not that easy to face for the very first time. But I know that this experience must have helped so many students, and they will do very well in their final BITSAT ka paper.
Now, Kushal, a lot of students have been discussing this in our WhatsApp, Telegram groups, as well as other online forums. They have been asking if BITSAT Open was tough.
See, in a single line answer, I would say no, it was not tough. It was up to the standard, it was up to the mark as actual BITSAT happens. It was a moderate paper if you consider BITSAT 2025 ka shift. Okay, we have just replicated one of the shifts of BITSAT 2025, and that's what you will see in the results ahead when we talk about the data. So it felt tough because there are a lot of topics which are there in BITSAT but not there in JEE, and students don't really cover them very seriously or properly. And agar question easy bhi hai, they are not able to solve that question because they have not covered that deleted topic. So that is the very first reason. And the second reason is English and logical reasoning. We have been shouting from months and months on how important English and logical reasoning, and students think that it's very easy, we'll be easily able to do that. But you must have realized after giving the paper that if you do not practice English and logical reasoning on a daily basis in a timed manner, you won't be able to do very well on the final paper. And the third thing is the question type. The questions, though from the similar topic of JEE, might not seem very similar because the way BITSAT asks question is very different. You cannot compare those questions with JEE questions. You need specific BITSAT practice if you want to score good.
Yeah, these are the three primary reasons why people felt that the exam was tough, but it was not. Score to aapko mil gaya, analysis bhi aapko mil gayi, but what's more important that these things are the learnings that we want to share with you in this video. And when you go to write your BITSAT exam tomorrow, or even in the second session, जब भी आप देते हो, भले ही आप अपना स्कोर भूल जाओ, बाकी सारी चीजें भूल जाओ, but learnings you need to always take forward with you. So 3 major learnings here. If you prepared at the best level, then you don't really have to worry about anything. हमने इस पेपर में आपको बहुत सारे अलग अलग एक्सपीरियंस देने की कोशिश किए थे, so that you are comfortable and aware about what to expect in the paper. If you have prepared the best, then don't be worried at all for what is going to come in your paper. You are going to manage it very well if you did BITSAT Open honestly.
BITSAT is a very unpredictable exam, and that's what we tried to give you in this particular paper. As Dhruv said, there were a lot of uncertainties. There were theoretical questions. There were questions from deleted topic. Then there was different weightage of different chapter sides there in BITSAT, different randomness, weirdness. So now I'm sure you all are familiarized with the unpredictability of BITSAT. And you need to keep this thing in mind when you go to the exam hall. तुम्हारे दिमाग में ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि oh, I solved these many mock tests, the paper is going to be similar to that. Oh, I gave BITSAT Open, the BITSAT exam is going to be similar to BITSAT Open. Don't keep any of these things in your mind. Anything can happen on the final BITSAT paper. Go with that mindset, then only you will be able to succeed. Also, we have made a very detailed video of detailed analysis of BITSAT Open. It is very important for you to watch this video so that you get an overall idea and understanding how the paper was actually designed, why it is so relevant, how we actually replicated the past shift, how the questions were picked. Few questions you must have thought कि ये तो बहुत weird है, क्या BITSAT में ऐसे questions आते हैं? So let me tell you कि भाई every single question that was there in BITSAT Open was there for a reason. ऐसा नहीं कि बस we just picked random questions and put it in a paper. Every single question that you see in the BITSAT Open, a similar kind of question has appeared in past year BITSAT. That is for sure.
Now let's deep dive into some of the data. Let's see what are the numbers, what is the turnout for BITSAT Open, and what are some of the details that we keep telling in our previous videos. But क्या होता है कि unless you actually experience things, you don't get to know. So एक एक करके डिस्कस करते हैं that what are the statistics of BITSAT Open 2026. सबसे पहली चीज, in total, adding up everything, over a period of 10 days, we received 16,032 registrations, which is a really, really big number considering JEE just abhi hua hai, BITSAT got preponed, a lot of things. And out of these 16,032 registrations, we received 11,532 test submits. Same BITSAT Open ke day pe there was NDA exam. Some students also had their MHT CT and other private exams. So due to that, the turnout was not 100%, but 11,532 is still a very big number, which we are super, super proud because it's the first time we conducted BITSAT Open. And we are hopeful that जब हम future में इसको करेंगे, then this number is definitely going to increase.
So now let's talk about BITSAT Open ke statistics. This slide is super, super important. It will help you understand that where do you stand in an all India level when it comes to BITSAT. So out of the total number of students who actually gave BITSAT Open, 80% of the students gave it very, very seriously. That means they spent at least 2.5 hours while giving the test. This tells us that BITSAT Open had the highest concentration of serious BITSAT aspirants. And these exact students are going to be your competition on the final day of exam. If we talk about the highest score, we have verified it ourselves properly. The highest score of BITSAT Open was 394 marks. Now, a lot of you might ask, 394 paper to 390 marks ka hota hai. So there is a section called as bonus question, and whoever scored this many marks, they actually ended up scoring even more in bonus section, and that's why they scored more than 390 marks, and that is actually possible in the final BITSAT paper too. So now let's talk about the scores. It's very important. 300 plus scores were just 0.98%. 270 plus scorers were just 2.92%. 250 plus scorers are 5.23%, and 200 plus scorers are 16.8%. Now you may feel here 300 plus and 270 plus scorers, these are very less. That means the paper was tough. But let's look at the data, and Dhruv will share you the data and actually explain how this data is 100% accurate and how this actually matches with the actual BITSAT exam.
Yes. To cross-verify this data, we will have to go to the official BITSAT 2022 statistics. So in this particular year, they shared ki X marks se upar how many candidates are there in BITSAT 2022. So if we look at the data, then हमको approximately 0.98, so around 1% का crowd मिला है who has scored 300 plus. And BITSAT 2022 में there were approximately 1.7 lakh students. ठीक है, exact number we don't know, but around 1.7 lakh applicants थे. So if you were to check this number out, है ना, यहाँ पे 307 लिखा है, अगर हम इसको slightly scale कर दें for 300 plus, then around 1,500-1,600 students out of 1.7 lakh would come to somewhere around 0.9 to 1%. So the data that we are showing you matches the actual BITSAT 2022 statistics. Obviously, with years, there must be some variation because of the difficulty, number of applicants, and other things. But mota 1% of the students who attempt BITSAT end up scoring more than 300 marks.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a statistic of 2022, and it is the only statistic that was actually released by BITSAT officially, right? And considering 2025 ka paper, the level increased very significantly. And that means that the number of people who scored 300 plus were even lesser than 0.9%.
Now, a lot of students still might be shocked, Kushal. They must be thinking कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है भैया, मतलब hardly 3%, 4% बच्चे हैं who are scoring 270 plus and who are eligible to get really good branches in BITS Pilani. So we've made a score distribution curve which tells us the marks scored by students and the number of students who scored those marks. As you can see, x-axis पे सारे marks hai, and y-axis पे it's basically the number of students who scored that. We have removed a lot of data from this table. We have removed students who have scored below 18 marks because we do not consider them as serious aspirants. And we've also removed some students जिन्होंने time spent नहीं किया है of more than 2.5 hours. You can see that the peak of the curve lies at somewhere between 106 and 150 marks. So you can say that majority of the BITSAT applicants score between 100 and 150 marks. And similarly, as you keep on increasing the marks range, you see that the number of students scoring 200 plus, 250 plus, 300 plus is just reducing and reducing. The next big question which we got asked on our previous video that we uploaded around bonus questions, that भैया आप तो बोलते थे कि यार like 95% बच्चे bonus attempt ही नहीं करते. You keep telling us that bonus section is not something that everyone should be doing. So let's take the example of BITSAT Open and see how many students have actually attempted the bonus section seriously. And let's get the data and see कि जो हमने वीडियो में बोला था previously क्या वो सच है या नहीं है. सबसे पहली चीज, only 2.01% of the students have attempted more than 130 questions. So 131 से लेके 142 questions तक बस 2.01% students ने attempt किया है. So out of 11,000 जो भी हमारा नंबर है उसमें से 2% लोगों ने ही 130 प्लस क्वेश्चंस करे हैं. नेक्स्ट, अब इसमें से आउट ऑफ द 2% स्टूडेंट्स हु रोट, उनमें से हाउ मेनी स्टूडेंट्स एक्चुअली हैव 80% प्लस एक्यूरेसी? Shocking numbers, but only 5.62% of the students who attempted bonus section have got more than 80% accuracy. So if you remember the previous video, I clearly specified that most of the students who actually write bonus questions don't really get benefit from it. उनको लगता है कि उनको फायदा हो रहा है, but they end up with a loss. And this is the reason why we had said that.
So what is needed to get top 500 rank? As you guys know that top 500 rank pe BITS Pilani has announced 100% tuition fee waiver scholarship. So according to the data of BITSAT Open, you have to be in top 0.3% if you want to get that scholarship. So as per BITSAT Open, the lowest score to be in 0.3%. That means the cutoff to be eligible for the scholarship is 328 marks. And if we consider a safe score range, it will be between 330 to 340 marks. So this is how much you need to score to grab that scholarship.
काफी सारे बच्चे पूछ रहे थे भैया कि आपने तो हमको बताया ही नहीं कि हमारे स्कोर के बेसिस पे व्हाट ब्रांच और व्हाट कैंपस कैन वी गेट. So we have actually made a really specific tool for that called the Phodu BITSAT predictor. अब इस टूल को यूज करके all you have to do is enter your score over here and you will get to know what branch and campus you can get as per the previous year cutoffs. We are considering a safe score of plus 15 marks for each cutoff. So that is something that we are assuming because of previous year data. But the official cutoffs can change and things can, go differently. So take it with a pinch of salt, but this is the BITSAT predictor and इसकी link हम लोग description में दे देंगे. Use this predictor tool, share it with your friends. It has been used by 10,000 plus students in the last 2-3 weeks. Common question that we have received: why did we not provide any rank, percentile, mark for review option, as well as the BITSAT Open का PDF? इन चारों सवालों के पीछे एक ही आंसर है, that is BITS Pilani works that way. BITSAT में there is no ranking system, no percentile system, normalization भी नहीं होता है. If you don't know about it, mark for review option, a lot of times people say that brochure में लिखा हुआ होता है, even in the instructions it is written, but when you write the paper finally you do not find any mark for review options in the last few years, and that's why we have decided to omit it from our test series and BITSAT Open as well.
We wanted to replicate everything that BITSAT does in BITSAT Open. Whatever you have seen or experienced in BITSAT Open is exactly similar to that of BITSAT. Even if you have noticed, once you submit your paper, you are asked to actually write down your score. And majority of you must have thought कि यार ये क्यों हमसे अपना score flash करके वापस हमसे score क्यों लिखवा रहे हैं? But this is what happens in the actual BITSAT exam. You will get to know when you give the actual BITSAT paper, and then you will realize how accurately we have replicated each and every step of BITSAT. Even the scorecard that you have received in BITSAT Open is quite similar to what you get in actual BITSAT.
So, Kushal, how much a serious student should have scored or could have scored if they had done a disciplined preparation?
See, to be very realistic, 250 plus was very, very achievable if you have covered the deleted topics properly, if you have been solving BITSAT mocks, plus have been practicing English LR on a daily basis, 250 plus was very, very achievable. There were a lot of easy questions, a lot of standard questions, which could have been done in a very less amount of time. But majority of the students got stuck in the weird questions, spent a lot of time in lengthy questions. And for BITSAT, what matters is that you know the art of skipping questions more than the art of solving questions. That is important. So अगर तुम्हारे इतने नहीं आए तो see where have you lagged, overall analyze the paper properly and improve upon those points to do well in your first attempt as well as improve and bounce back in the second attempt.
We want to give everyone a very big surprise. As Kushal said, that BITSAT Open abhi just hua hai. It is time to reflect on your performance and to introspect ki kahan galti ho gayi thi and how can you actually make a comeback. A first attempt is literally in 1 or 2 days. So you do not have enough time left for the first attempt if you have not done enough preparation. But second attempt ke liye, Phodu Club really wants to support you and wants to be a part of your prep. So this surprise is called Phodu Value Scholarship. Why Phodu Value Scholarship? Because we want to provide you the highest value in the remaining 30 to 40 days. 16th April 12 a.m. से लेके 11:59 p.m. on 17th April को, you will get a 25% scholarship across all the products of Phodu Club. There will be no extension on these dates. अगर आप इस period में, if you're not able to avail it, then you will lose the option of getting this benefit. Now the question comes ki how can you avail this scholarship? All you have to do is use the coupon code BITSAT Open while joining Phodu Club. Ekdam checkout pe there's an option to add a coupon code. Wahan pe you can write BITSAT Open and automatically आपके लिए 25% scholarship add हो जाएगी.
This is the biggest scholarship we have ever given till date. So utilize it properly. Avail it in 16th or 17th because it is only and only for students who are very serious for their BITSAT preparation now and want to bounce back in the second attempt and give their best shot and get into BITS Pilani.
See you at BITS Pilani. In these photos, you will see Kushal and me interacting with a lot of students who are just like you, who are watching our videos, who are a part of Phodu Club in the previous years. But then they made it to BITS Pilani using Phodu Club. And we did all these meetups in Goa. This is in Pilani, this is in Hyderabad. And it is always fun meeting everyone. And we want to see you at BITS Pilani this year. So work really hard, avail the Phodu Value Scholarship, and we will see you at BITS Pilani this year. As we always say, साथ में फोड़ेंगे. Comments में जाके spam कर दो कि तुम BITSAT 2026 फोड़ोगे. इसका भी BITSAT first attempt है. All the very best to you from Phodu Club. Thank you so much for watching this video. Those were the results of BITSAT Open and our final message to you before BITSAT first attempt. See you.